Hello, good afternoon, boys and girls. I am here to do the next chapter in our historical fiction, Once, that takes place during the Holocaust. We read chapter 1 yesterday, where we learned a lot about Felix. So I'm going to quickly review what we learned. We learned that he's living in an orphanage. Okay, all of the other kids their parents are not alive. However, Felix's parents are alive. Felix is Jewish, and so are his parents. And during the Holocaust, in order to keep Felix safe from the Nazis, his parents put him in this orphanage. And I am thinking his parents are in hiding, and because they're hiding from the Nazis. So Felix, the times are really bad right now. Okay, there isn't much food. The orphanage is kind of run down, but the nuns are really nice because the nuns are there taking care of all the orphans. He does have a friend named Dottie. Okay. But he said in the last chapter that Felix is afraid to get close to Dottie because he doesn't want to tell him his secrets. He's afraid that he'll then spill his secrets and tell him everything, which is what we do with our friends. We tell them the truth. But really, he has a lot of secrets going on, and his parents really are alive, and none of the other kids know this. They also think he's Catholic, but really he is Jewish. He also found a carrot in his soup, which is unheard of because times are so bad. No one ever gets a whole carrot. It's usually chopped up for everyone to share. But Felix kind of thinks that's a sign that his parents are there to come get him and that they've made an arrangement with the nuns to bring him back home. I'm a little undecided about that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's his just wishful thinking, but let's see what happens. So he wants to give Dottie the carrot, but he feels bad because he feels like Felix is going to be leaving the orphanage soon. So we'll see but he doesn't. He keeps it. I know exactly what I can do for Dottie. Now's the moment. The bath selection has just started. Mother Minka is standing at the front, checking Joseph all over for dirt. He's shivering. We're all shivering. The bathroom is freezing, even now in summer. Probably because it's so big and below ground level. In ancient times, when this convent was first built, this bathroom was probably used for ice skating. Mother Minka flicks her tassel toward the dormitory. Joseph grabs his clothes and hurries away, relieved. Lucky pig, shivers Dottie. I step out of the queue and go up to Mother Minka. Excuse me, Mother, I say. She doesn't seem to notice me. She's peering hard at Boris, who's got half the playing field under his fingernails and toenails, and a fair bit of it in his armpits. I can see Mother Minka is about to flick her tassel toward the bath. Oh no, I'm almost too late. Then Mother Minka turns to me. What is it, she says. Please, Mother, I said hurriedly. Can Dottie be first in the bath? The boys behind me in the queue start muttering. I don't glance back at Dottie. I know he'll understand what I'm trying to do. But why? Says Mother Minka. I step closer. This is between me and Mother Minka. You know how Doddik's parents died of sickness? I say. Well, Doddik's decided he wants to be a doctor and devote his life to wiping out sickness all over the world. The thing is, as a future doctor, he's got to get used to being really hygienic and washing himself in really hot and clean water. I hold my breath and hope Dottie didn't hear me. He actually wants to be a pig slaughterer, and I'm worried he might say something. Mother Minka looks at me. Get to the back of the queue, she says. He really needs to be first in the bath every week, I say. As a doctor. Now, booms Mother Minka. I don't argue. You don't with Mother Minka. Nuns can have good hearts and still be violent. As I pass Dottie, he gives me a grateful look. I give an apologetic one. I know he wouldn't mind about the doctor story. He likes my stories. Plus, I think he'd be a good doctor. Once, after he pulled the legs off a fly, he managed to stick a couple back on. This stone floor is really cold on bare feet. That's something Dottie could do in the future. Designs bathroom heating systems. I bet by the year 2000, every bathroom in the world will be heated. Floors and everything, with robots to pick the twigs and grit out of the bathwater. Look at that. Boris is the first one in and the water's brown already. I can imagine what it'll be like when I finally get in. Cold with more solid bits in it than our soup. I close my eyes and think about the baths Mom and Dad used to give me. In front of the fire with clean water and lots of warm, wet cuddles and lots of stories. I can't wait to have a bath like that again. Hurry up, Mom and Dad. Okay, so let me just review what happened here. Felix wants to do something nice for his friend. He feels bad that he feels that his parents are going to come get him soon, which we're not sure if that's the case. So the way the baths, it sounds like, the way the baths take place here is that there's one bath for all the line of boys. So they're all standing there waiting their turn. And it doesn't sound like they changed the bath water. So if you're last in line, that bath water is going to be disgusting. It's going to be brown and dirty and also cold. So if you're towards the front of the line, you get the nicer water. If you're towards the back of the line, you get the grimy, cold water. Think about that. So that's what's going on in this orphanage. This orphanage is also in a convent. A convent is where nuns live. Okay? So that's where this orphanage is. Okay? And if you're not sure what a nun is a holy woman. They don't get married. They often wear those black, I'll bring in pictures next time, the black robes, okay? And they're very religious, okay? So that's the rest of chapter 2. So we had them taking a bath. So we've learned about the food in the orphanage. We learned about the bath, like how to keep clean in the orphanage as well, how they take baths in the orphanage. So it doesn't sound like the nicest place to be. Okay, and Felix is also remembering of how it used to be at his house. So we will see what happens tomorrow in chapter 3. Stay well, everyone.